Okay, you guys, happy Friday. I hope you guys are doing well. You have this very quick lecture video to watch and learn this concept, but it is a very easy concept. And you have one assignment to go with it. And after that, I think Miss Thomas, if you're super nice to her, she will let you watch some sort of Disney movie that you guys all agree on. So you just kind of have to toughen up and let's get through this. And then you guys will have some time to relax and you will have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And just so you guys know, I am going to miss you very, very much. You guys have all been really great classes, and I would expect for you to be on your bestest behavior when Mrs. Fawson is here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to write formulas from the names of covalent molecules. So first off, the thing that you definitely need in front of you is you need your polyatomic ion list. And we're not going to actually use the polyatomic ions, but we are going to use these prefixes right here. Okay, I'm going to go through this fairly quickly, and just so you know, this PowerPoint is actually on Google Classroom, so you can go back and you can write some step-by-step or you might have to go back because I'm going to go pretty quick and write the steps to write formulas for covalent molecules. Okay, so real quick here, these formulas will only have nonmetals or a metalloid and a nonmetal in them. That's absolutely the case. So when you're writing formulas from the names, you're never going to be dealing with any of the metals. So what we're going to do is we are going to start and we're going to look at the name of our first one, and our first covalent molecule is carbon tetrachloride. So this is what we're going to do. It says write the symbol of the first element, write the symbol of the second element, add subscripts to the right of the symbol according to prefixes present in the name. These are the prefixes that I am talking about, okay? So you need these in front of you and you need your periodic table. So make sure you have them both. So let's start with our very first one, carbon tetrachloride. We are going to write the symbol of the first element, which is carbon, C, tetrachloride. So chloride, you guys already know, is chlorine. Okay, so Cl. And then I go back to the prefix and see what tetra means. And on my list, tetra means 4, so my formula is CCl4. Super easy, okay? So you're going to look at the name, okay? This is diphosphorus, so let's start with the phosphorus, okay? So phosphorus is P. The di means 2. Pentoxide, so oxide tells us oxygen, which is O. Pent is the same as penta. So anytime penta or tetra or hepta or octa is paired up with oxygen, we always drop the A. And so instead of it being pentaoxide, it's pentoxide. But my prefix pent or penta is 5 or means 5. So this is 5 oxygen, P2O5. Our next one is nitrogen trioxide. If there is no prefix on the first element, that means there's only one atom of that element present. We never write mono on the first element. You might see mono on the second element, but you're never going to see it on the first. So nitrogen trioxide. So nitrogen is N. We only have one of them. Tri means 3. Oxide is O. So NO3. Don't get this confused with nitrate. Nitrate has a charge. This does not. This is nitrogen and 3 oxygen that are covalently bonded together. Okay. Our next one is trinitrogen diphosphide, okay? Trinitrogen diphosphide. So I'm going to start with N. Tri tells me I have 3 of them. Di tells me I have 2 phosphorus, so N3P2. nitrogen monoxide, so that's N. Mono means one, oxide, oxygen, so one oxygen. No is nitrogen monoxide. Super easy, aren't they? Compared to what we were doing? Super duper easy. So let's do it in the opposite direction. Okay? So now let's look at the formula, and we are then going to come up with the correct name. So I'm going to start again this list, because I'm going so fast. This list, this step-by-step is actually on Google Classroom, so you'll just have to access it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to write names for the formulas. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to add prefixes to each element's name prefixes, these guys right here, these prefixes. So we're going to add prefixes to each element's name according to the subscripts next to the symbol. If there is only one atom present in the first element, then no prefix is added. So if there is only one atom present in the first element, we never add a prefix. The second element always will have a prefix. It will always have a prefix. So we're going to write the root of the second element and use the ending IDE for the second element. Just like we did with naming ionic compounds, we drop the INE and add the IDE. Prefixes ending in the letter A before oxide are always going to be dropped. So instead of pentaoxide, it's pentoxide. So instead of octaoxide, it's octoxide. We just drop the A when it's paired up with oxygen. Okay, so let's practice this. This is going to be super duper easy. So first of all, we have to decide how many atoms of the first element we have. And there's only one, and it's the first element. So we never put a prefix if there's only one atom of that element present. So I'm going to outright name this, and I'm going to name this guy carbon. That's my first element. And then I look to my second element, and I see how many atoms are present. And there's only one atom of oxygen. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to find my prefix. That means one, and that's mono. So I'm going to put that in the front of my oxide. Now again, we don't write carbon oxygen, or we don't say carbon monoxygen. We say carbon monoxide. So MONOXIDE. So mono means one oxide. So that second element in every single one of these, well, I got a lot of oxygens, I just realized that. Okay, every single one of these, you drop the ending and add IDE. So this one right here, we have 2 chlorine. So I'm going to look up here and I'm going to see what prefix means 2, and that's di. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and name my first element. And I'm going to say dichlorine. I'm running out of room on my paper. And then I find my number 7. So I have 7 oxygen. So I need to find my prefix for 7, and that's hepta. Don't forget we dropped the A. So it's dichlorine hept oxide for this guy. Okay, so let's look at this one. We take a look at the first element. There is only one atom present, so we just outright name it. So it's going to be phosphorus. We move to the second element. We see how many atoms there are. And we have 4. So we have to find the prefix for 4, and that's tetra. My element is iodine, so I'm going to drop the INE and make it IDE. So the name of PI4 is phosphorus tetra iodide. Our next compound, SiO2. So my first element does not have a subscript, so I only have one of them. So I'm going to outright name it. It's going to be silicon. I look at my second element, it's oxygen. I drop the ending and make it IDE, but I have two of them, so I have to add my prefix. That means two, and that would be di, so it will be dioxide, silicon dioxide. That's the main ingredient in glass. Okay, our next one right here, we have a prefix on our first element, so I'm going to add the prefix to the name of the element. So that's dinitrogen. And then my second one, trioxide. Let's move down here. SB, I've got two of them, so two means di. SB is antimony, so it's diantimony. That's my first element. Prefix for 5 is penta. So the S is sulfur. So we're going to drop the UR and add IDE. So this is going to be diantimony pentasulfide. Super duper easy. We don't even have to deal with oxidation numbers. The only thing we have to deal with is these prefixes. Okay? So you guys are going to have one assignment over this. I do have, like I said, there's a PowerPoint of this on Google Classroom, and I think there's even a video or two if you want to watch that, if for some reason this does not make sense. But I think it's super easy, and you guys are super smart, so I think you guys will be great. Again, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I am going to miss you guys tremendously, and I hope you guys have a wonderful break, Thanksgiving and Christmas break, and please stop by my classroom next semester so I can say hi. Take care, everybody, and again, be good.